welcome back, everybody. Unfortunately, we do not have Evan at the moment. He was over there today when we were working on this for the start. This is a beautiful Spitfire that I got for free from the AMA, and so eventually, when I get this thing down to the field, Evan will be test flying it, and hopefully, it flies perfectly. If it doesn't, we're putting a gas engine on it. I think that was what we agreed upon. Anyway, today, what we were working on is kind of started recording a bit late. So earlier, the wing down there had this. You can see it's white now because we plan to paint it, and I gotta fix all the little issues with it. But this I just dropped a very important screw. Oh, let me. So it was this hideous orange, and it was like taped on there. So it was like somebody put this on there, like ironed it a little bit, and then put tape on it. And then I'll bring the that up here, and then I'll show you what else we've done to that wing. Now adjusted, we have started the remonocoating on just this corner. It's just a little patch over the corner, and then up top here, some stuff that I was so happy to see. Somebody actually made a quick connect for this, so it just slots into the bottom of the plane. I'm going to do a little bit of wire management, just a couple of small zip ties to fix all this up. Flipping the plane over, or flipping the wing over. This is the main issue that was with the center of the wing. We have some servo-driven retracts. Surprising that with this scale of plane, we did not get flaps. And seeing that we've already fixed this over here, I can possibly see cutting some flaps in the future. Now, I have not plugged this up to the remote yet, but we'll get there. So yeah, just got to go over it with a finish iron. This used to be a hole. I should have taken a few photos before we started working, but this used to be a hole, and it was just covered over with like just regular tape, just some Scotch tape. So Evan started working on it, put some hardwood on the inside, some balsa, C8'd it in, added our beautiful patch over it. And then we're going to do some painting, and then I'm going to ask, and hopefully when we get there, we'll start adding some of these lines back to make it look a little prettier. Same with the decals, like how it's got the decal over there, and so it's just going to take a lot of work. So that's pretty much it with the wing. Moving on to the actual plane, something that we've already fixed is that a lot of the monocoat on here did not appreciate being on here. So, hold on, take the battery cover off. Just place it right there. Like right here at the edges, I don't know if I actually got it all setted back down, but it was peeling away. And to fix that, there's the same fix. Just a little Scotch tape on there. And then appears that somebody has grabbed these inner sides too hard, and it snapped the balsa in between. So take some CA to that, fix that. This battery tray is very scuffed because this was a gas plane. It was like made for gas, and then it was switched over to electric as seen. I have no clue if that is all right, but we're going to go with it for now because it was with the plane. The plane was actually ready to fly besides the rudder situation with a little Spectrum receiver, and then it has the radio in there too, so like you can track your planes. That was pretty nice. Had the on-off, so I have to assume that somebody had this plane, planned on building it on gas, wrote this on here, and then eventually just sold it, and then somebody converted it to electric. I have no clue what happened to this plane. I was just literally went to a swap meet this morning, and I was handed this plane, and they said, "Here you go, keep flying, join AMA." And they took a photo of me and Evan holding the plane. And I don't think it's going to get posted because we drove ourselves there, and there was no parent to say, yeah, post it. So that would have been the only photo with the orange wing, and I should have asked for it, but I didn't, like a dummy. So this beautiful thing is getting that attached. So moving on from the plane just existing, which it's still got some work before I think it'll be all right. We're moving over here to the rudder assembly. So you can see the white monocoat. That is what I did. This is actually the first time I've ever touched and started assembling any monocoat. So I think, personally, I did not too bad of a job on it. The monocoat down there was Evan. Just make that very pronounced. But for my first time touching monocoat, I don't think I did too bad. When I got the plane home and finally got it, started working on it, had to, literally, the only thing holding this on was a little bit of monocoat. So I cut the monocoat, pulled the thing off. The hinges in the rudder were shot. This hasn't been glued in yet because I want to epoxy. So I've already epoxied this rudder piece onto this little setup. It's a little scuffed, so I'm gonna add some like little bit of sawdust and some CA in there so that like kind of fills the hole. And then up here, gotta fix this. And I'm just going to put a layer of epoxy on both of these and then make sure I hold this on there fairly straight so that way we get the whole thing done. Then, once that's settled, I'm going to insert the rudder. But first, I got to make a little hole in there for the rudder wheel that's actually over right here. So I didn't have the little plastic hinges that they used when they first put this in. So this just goes right here, and I think what I'm going to have to do is actually drop the rudder wheel down quite a bit. Hold on, I only have one hand because I'm not Evan. I don't have Evan here to just hold the camera and explain what's going on. So I think what I'm going to do is like drop the wheel, and I actually don't like the way it's facing. It's bent like one way, but like if you turn it the other way, then the bend is towards the plane. So I think what I'm going to do is bend this 180 degrees so it's facing the other way, and then install it the way I feel like it should be, which is this way. And then go ahead and screw this bad boy back on here and make a little hole in that rudder for it to go on. And then after I get this rudder settled, I'll take you to find the other two scores that I found at the swap meet. So one of them is for my dad. His birthday is coming up, so I wanted to get him something nice. And the other one's for me. The only reason I bought it was like this ugly stick. I have no clue where it came from, but it was a foamy ugly stick. The high wing ugly stick, and it came with an extra elevator and wing. So I was like, all right, $40, all right. So we're going to start by getting this thing fixed. I actually have the cowl down here. It's not the worst condition. I do think I'm going to shove some glue and sawdust up in the nose where these cowling holes go and run new screw holes through it because they were really loose, and 4 different screws. But there's a little bit of issue up here, so I think what I'm going to do is put some... Great. I'm going to put some tape around this to hold it in form, and then just shove some epoxy down there because it's fiberglass, and I think it'll hold, I hope. So we got a few things to do before we get to the other planes, and let's get to it. So here we have the rudder assembly mocked up to the plane. There is something that I don't like because I did not mock it up to the plane and then glue the rudder in. There is a gap, so I will fix that. It's kind of slight, but I will fix that. Can I stop hitting that? We'll fix that, and we're going to get this glued in, and then we're going to test all the control surfaces back here. It'll be the first time I actually plug the plane in. So, actually, the other thing is here is the speed controller that came with it. So, the lovely Evan method taking place here. Let's focus. Hello. No, this right here. What I'm holding. You could. Let me see. Focus on the silver thing. There we go. So it's got some silver. So I'm just gonna run some new heat shrink over it and crimp it all the way down. And then once we get that all settled, I will toss this thing back into the plane and we will test everything out. I will get to it now. Alright, so while we're waiting for this to finish up doing its thing, waiting for the epoxy, I thought we'd go over some of the other stuff we got. So here's the other plane I got. And it's this foamy, ugly stick that I need to toss the receiver into. But I got it for 30 bucks. It's got ESC in there. It's got some 3M weight in the nose, so I'm so excited to see how it flies. I have to reattach these hinges because the guy I got them from was fairly old, and so pretty much assumed that he was not doing too hot. But the whole reason I got this was because of this. So the plane, I need to do some work at the fuselage, but it came with a new wing and elevator, so I was like, why not? So I'm gonna open up that bag. I'm gonna see if I can put anything away. Oh, and just like a quick refresher, there used to be an Aero Scout there. Now we have a Japanese A6M0. We got the lovely Miss wings up there. There was a cadet wing. I think it's actually a Senorita wing. That was up there. It was really big, but I had to get balsa down for this thing. So it's down right now. I'll have to put it up later. We have the lovely Miss wall. We have the Europa, the Miss, the Super Miss, the Scratch Built Miss, and the other Miss too. So, and then super easy, and then there's like nothing new over here. It's just the Quaker, just some Delta biplane that I got, the Buzz Bomb. I forget the name of that cub. We got a lovely scratch-built biplane from a nice guy in Orange County, I think. Then we got another Quaker, that one's mine. Bloody Mary. The swing to a random scratch-built red plane in the garage. This biplane that my dad swears is green, but is not. And then a Scrappy Tiger Moth. We have two of those Tiger Moths, one brand new in the box. But besides that, let's get back to this. Now we're back. We are back. So I'm actually fairly surprised to discover that there was a guy that used to be on top of there. Another thing I was very surprised to discover is elevator and rudder. So as long as I can keep that fuselage alive, I have another plane right here. So yeah, gonna go ahead and do as much work on that fuselage to keep it as nice as possible. And then these pieces, they're a little dinged up because I mean they've probably been sitting in a hangar for years, and so I now have to find a spot for this guy, get a new propeller, slam a radio or a receiver in there, and it'll be flying. Oh, the other thing is that it has no landing gear. So I have to make one, and I'm probably going to make one, like, it's over here. I'm sure it's, hold on, but you be quiet, computer. It is, it's past the boxes. It's that. So it's a little wire that I'm gonna make a little wire that extends the length of the box, and then drops down and gives it a nice little angle. So besides that, I'm gonna get these put away up onto my rack. Then we are going to move back to this, and then when the next part of this is just waiting to be completed, we're gonna move on to checking out the other score. All right, we got the lovely wing put away. The only issue with my wing rack, my dad has two. He's got one for his balsa wings and then his balsa planes. I mean, the orange one and the green one are mine, but that's besides the point. Got that wing all the way up there, and I gotta find a spot for that guy. But we're gonna move on to the next part of the Spitfire, which is getting this attached. But this also means getting a little horn for it. So I'm gonna get a horn for it. Gonna drill the new holes because I had to. I don't know if I have the parts anymore. Oh, I do. I still have some of the scraps. I had to remake part of the rudder and glue it on there. Actually, do we have? Oh man. Okay. But I had to remake part of the rudder and then cover it. So gonna drill new holes and put a new horn on there. So we're gonna jump to doing that. Pleasure to look through my dad's beautiful box of organized love compared to my box of doom and despair. So I actually found what I was looking for. So gonna have to drill the hole out a little more and then drill the holes out on the rudder. Once we got that all done, we'll get everything fit together, and then we'll debate if we have enough time to go take a peek at the plane, the other plane. Because, like, we got the Spitfire, we got that blue ugly stick. I got one more for you today. but I don't know if we'll be able to get to it. So let's hurry this up. And these are for a lovely future project for a B-17 that I got. Early birthday present, so it was pretty awesome. But I'll do a video where I start restoring it. So it was in pretty good condition. It's foamy, so if this was also foamy, it'd be pretty much the same condition as this. It'd be much better condition as this. It's like I just bought it, but then dented the wing and scratched a little bit of the paint off. So that's pretty much all I got. So I got a couple of the little sticker or little tape that I gotta fix some wire management, and then there's 2 little plates that I gotta glue back on there. But besides that, that's for a shorter project. Right now we're doing this and then the other plane. So let's get to it. All right, so now we have the rudder hinge mocked up. So we got the rudder coming down here. I hope that'll be okay. When I did this, actually, I only had this bottom piece to go off of, so I kind of just mirrored the bottom piece to the top piece. That's why there's a lovely gap right here where it looks a little awkward, but I had to go with what I had, and I hope what I had is good enough. So we're going to get these 2 holes drilled, going to get these nuts put through, and then we're going to try everything, make sure it works after we fix the speed controller, and be on our way. Okay, Spitfire's tail has been finished. We have the wheel bent the other way. I didn't have to do anything up there. I just bent it back, and it's doing just fine. The rudder has been attached. So, bam, elevator's been attached. They just run into the bottom here, and then I do not have the screws in just yet, so that way I can set up a, so I can set up the, all the expos and whatnot to make sure everything's ready. And that was, I don't know if it'll focus, but that little box is what I was referring to as the GPS thing. I've never used one of those before, but hey, I got it in this thing. So here is the amazing plug. I have no clue what that white plug is, but it runs into this rat's nest. So well, I say rat's nest. This is actually like the least amount of rat nest it could possibly be. So we're gonna fix the ESC, put that back up in here, and then make sure everything works. And then after that, we're gonna do some work on the cowling. Get that cowling a little bit of epoxy on its nose, so that way it's not like grinding through anymore. That way it's more solid. Then just let's go work on the ESC. It's literally just putting heat shrink on the three poles, and that's it. And then plugging it up to here, and then plugging a battery into it, and hoping nothing burns. So it should do 3 cell, because it's 2 to 4. It does say 2 to 4 cells, so we're gonna plug a 3 cell up into this, and then bind it to my remote. So let's go. All right, now with a little bit of extra heat shrink around those, I might add another layer because I really don't trust these. Let's peel off the beautiful electric tape. And as Evan would say, had he been here. Let's see, focus. That looks a little charred. Let's figure out what's under this. So it's not bad per se, but it's had work done on it at some point. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a better tape job, and then I'm gonna see if I have any heat shrink that'll go over the XT60 connector and just hold on, make it look a little prettier. And then we can smack it back in the plane and bind it to the remote. So let's get going. Okay, please forgive me on this clip because I only got 2 hands. But we have the speed controller put back in. We have a bind plug. And we got the name. Now, Evan has a name for this. I just call it the Free Spitfire. Let us know in the comments what we should name it besides Spitfire, because it doesn't have a nose art. It doesn't have, the only markings it has is the British markings. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make some decals of some just like kills, some kill markers, and toss them onto here. And obviously need a name, and maybe, just maybe, if I can find a good one, a nose art. So I'm gonna plug this in, and obviously if you hear very upsetting sounds, it means that something is on fire. If not, and we hear some good sounds, then hey. So let's find the beautiful. Oh, why is there a flashing light up in the speed controller? I've never seen this before, but there is a flashing light in the speed controller. Not down here. Well, yeah, down here because it's trying to bind. But I have never seen that before.
Binding. DSM-2 22 milliseconds, 1024 resolution.
Right.
Bind complete.
Okay. Rudder's oh no, rudder's the right way. Something is not happy about its existence in there. Elevator is reversed, but it is also a smidgen down. So because everything can be moved around right now. Oh. Interesting. Okay, so elevator works, but my main, the thing that I had the most scared about was the rudder, and both surfaces need to be adjusted before I screw them in. So we're gonna do that. Then we're gonna smack the wing on here, and I'll plug it in with the wing. I don't know what's making that beep sound, but we'll plug it in with the wing and we'll find out how everything works. So I'm gonna try to do one of those thingies where I had just made the most sad discovery that I had lost the servo screw there, and I was so scared because I have the one for that one. Oh my god, I have the one for that one, and I was like, oh no, where is that? That off-brand kit that I bought had the most perfect screw that fit in here, and I'm so happy. So now let's get the wing on, and I'm gonna first get this mounted, then get the wing on. I want to check out how nicely this plays, and then we're gonna find everything working. So now we do the snap. Wings on. This is my dad. He's the one that got me into building. He's the guy that got me into loving RC airplanes. He's also the reason the channel exists. That and Evan. So we're gonna plug power into this, see what happens, and hope for the best. Okay. So okay. That is interesting. One aileron has decided I'm going up. The aileron away from you has decided it's going up, so I'm gonna fix that really quickly. Okay, I thank my dad for helping me in that last clip. So I have discovered, one, the reason there's no flaps is because it's flaperons, but I don't have them set up at the moment. But what I do have, I have ailerons. So that's that one over there. That's the one that decided to just go up, and that's because it's flaperons. And then let me find my gear switch. Bam! Gear. Landing gear. These retracts are very obviously not meant for this plane. I don't know what the setup was before, but obviously it was something right here that they just kind of cut out. And then they just smacked these in here because, like, you can see it was like, ah. And then it's like you wouldn't have printouts on the plane. If anybody can identify this plane, please do. But, like, you wouldn't have the decals for landing gear on the plane if you were putting landing gear on. So I think this was just like a simple balsa plane, and like you had the option of like I don't even know. It's got to be an ARF, but I want to search up gasser spitfires and see if I can find anything. But we got ailerons, elevator, we got thrust, and then we got rudder. So I'd say the day is saved. Let me put that landing gear up. I would say, so this plane actually isn't too heavy, especially with the battery I have in it. Just pop it open. It's just a little bolt, 3-cell. But today is just one victory of many to come with this guy. So the next thing I have to do is smooth this out, fix that cowl. So I'm going to put some epoxy on that cowl and start smoothing this out. And then hopefully in the next clip, it'll be the biplane that I so promised. That is my dad's gift. So I hope he doesn't watch this video. But besides that, let's get to it. So I just had the most amazing time working on this because it cracked right here. So the panel was like that big, and then this little beam across here cracked, so I had to replace the whole panel. And then once I finished this whole panel, now I gotta recover it, and then I'm also gonna cover up some of the retracts, and then once I finish up these retracts, once I'm gonna cover up this like whole plate, and then once these are covered up, I'm gonna make the little slits for this to be accessible. I feel like it would look a little better. But besides that, I then have to work on the wingtip, and it is currently 11 o'clock. So, not too much time left. Really hope I can do this. Welcome back to the new day. It's Mother's Day today. And I got my mom a card, some coffee, and I'm going to make her dinner tonight. Besides that, got a little... So when I reattached, I have to cover that little corner right there. Once I do that... I'll get to that. We got... I'm going to have a complete longer video on just fixing the Spitfire than us actually going to the field and flying some stupid stuff. But so, moving on. Got the cowling right here. Got some 15-minute epoxy down in the nose to fix up all these cracks, because as you can see, there was just one giant one spanning over. So, got some 15-minute epoxy. Now, I did add new screw holes so that I could add my own screws, because each one of these screws are a different screw. So I was going to go back with 4 of my own wood screws. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little tape on the outside here, mix up a little bit of 15-minute epoxy, sand down the innards a little bit, and fix up these holes with just a little bit of epoxy. And then do any little gap fill-ins that need to be done with some 5-minute on this top. But besides that, this cowling's ready to go back on, and I'll put my new screws on. I'll have to paint them gray. But order of events: cowl, finish the cowl, cover that tail, and then I get to show you the biplane. I'm gonna figure out how to clip together, like make the little cuts in the video where it's like, well, this is what I did for this part of the video. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. Hopefully it's easy, because I just spent way too long working on this plane, and I now want to make other build videos of just assembling other balsa plane kits that I got. I'm gonna have to find some room first, as you could tell, but let's get back to this. All right, here is the third plane we got from the swap meet. It is an amazing Fokker biplane. Need to go over it with the iron a little bit. That aileron over there, let me turn the plane around. Needs some glue, and then a little tap of a little bit of red monocoat, and she'll be fixed. But she is electric, 2 to 3S LiPo. I gotta figure out where to put the battery. Need to fix this, and then it is ready to fly. Dean's to XG60. Okay. Spectrum receiver right there. Actually, now I'm curious as to where the battery goes. Give me a second so I can try to find out. But she is electric. And yeah, I'm gonna actually start looking. All right, we have discovered the battery tray. All the way nice at the top. Looks like it takes a small battery because that's not a lot of room. Unless they intend for the battery to go all the way across the top, because there is space for one to fit. Realistically, just have to put a 2-cell in here and then figure out on make sure it's a little nose heavy, and then because the biplanes, I believe the biplanes fly better with just a tad bit of nose heaviness, but it's actually really snug. And it was really flush. I just barely noticed it. Oh, she doesn't want to go back on. But it was really snug. And that's why it was so hard for me to discover. Kind of had to peel one side out. It's really, really snug. I'm so glad I'm saying that so much. Hold on. There we go. But it's like... it's a little bit noticeable on that side. Like, when I was looking at it, I couldn't tell. But besides that, just a little bit of underwing patching to do. Then the fix on the aileron. And she should be good to fly. So I hope my dad does enjoy this plane. And it's got... I'll probably put like 20 minutes into it tonight. And it should be ready. So I'm gonna go put this back in its hiding spot and work on it a little bit later. And maybe I'll make a separate video on it, because it's like, just like a short video on it. Because like, there's nothing here to do besides a little iron here on that side and a couple of patches. So we're gonna get back to the Spitfire and check in with what's going on over there. All right, we're out here in the cul-de-sac of loving and forgiveness. And oh, rudder, aileron and elevator, and we got flaps too, flaperons. Those wheels are squealing, but everything works. Oh, beautiful. Oh, this is a lovely. Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful. I cannot step onto that blacktop. I'm in bare feet. You gotta pay extra for those, but oh, that's beautiful. It's actually got a lot of power, which I did not expect. But it is a very heavy plane, so I'd assume it'd fly like it. But I think that's gonna wrap this video up on the free Spitfire. More to come.